users, interact, share experiences, and hear from, learn from each other, and learn from each other. And I would want to start by thanking our keynote speaker, that is Mr. James Nganga, who is the Petroleum Secretary, representing the Principal Secretary for Mines and Petroleum. And also our keynote speakers from the various sessions that we've had. We had Jeff Allen, who is our colleague from Esri Inc. That's from from the US. Lorraine Ines, and from Esri Dubai, was also with us, and Elvis Taco, and of course all the other presenters in the other sessions that we had. So in numbers, I want to just mention that we had more than 100 users representing the various organizations that we work with. And just to mention that for most of you who joined the other breakout rooms, we had 3 main sessions that were going on. One is on petroleum. The users, the power users who are across our region in Ethiopia, Uganda, Kenya, and Tanzania. And the mining segment, people from the Ministry of Mines from Kenya, from Ethiopia, Uganda, and Tanzania, Eritrea and Djibouti as well. And a great number of people, over more than the other 2 sessions, that's in agriculture and environment. And I would like really to thank the presenters who are with us in all these sessions. We had Charity Cheriot from the Ministry of Petroleum and Mines. We had Lelehu from the Geological Survey of Ethiopia. Then Anastasia Dibo from Tanzania Geothermal Development Corporation. James Mogwa from Kodia, and Richard Mwangi from Kenya Forest Service. And of course, Kevin Kipto from Gatsby. He's a great forester trying to do great stuff for Africa and helping the forest industry. Thank you all for the wonderful keynote presentations that you've given us. We are really thankful for inspiring us with the good work that you are doing across all the segments in your organization. The small efforts that everyone does to make the world a better place. So just to highlight some of the key messages that we have drawn from this conference. And of course, this is not conclusive because we've had a lot of interaction, running technical sessions, user case stories on what you guys are doing, the good work that you're doing with our technology, is that there is need to utilize the importance of location data. This has been emphasized by all the presenters, because everything happens in a location, and having the location attribute in all the data and the works that you are doing has been emphasized by all the presenters. The importance of embracing location data cannot be overemphasized. The other thing that has come out of this conference is understanding workflows and processes. We have seen how information is moved all the way from the satellite, having that into the servers, pushing that to the field teams, and also processing that back and curating, having QA and QC, and at the end of the day, doing a very nice analysis that helps to inform decision making. And of course, at the end of the day, we see the aspect of location intelligence coming in, helping the decision makers to be able to make informed decision, which in turn ultimately helps in creating not only the policies that inform how our organizations are governed, but even how things are supposed to run. And last but not least is how you position the geospatial the geospatial component in all your processes. That is, we know that there are various aspects in each organization, but having that powerful base where you have the information that powers all the decision making that happens in an organization, how we come up with that geospatial strategy. And I would like to just reiterate a few comments that were made during the opening plenary by our CEO Clifford Okembo, and of course in most of the other ESRI presenters. But I just wanted to do a recap of what we do here at ESRI in general, and just to mention that our key business is to build a very good leading GIS technology. And this is actually geared towards, helping our users, having the very needed technology in your day-to-day work. And then, of course, the other, after building the technology, is to support you, and you are the users. And how do we support you? We support you through, ensuring that we transfer or inculcate the skills that are very much needed with the changing technology, and having the trainings, support in coming up with the best cases, and how you program your workflows, how you put your systems together, and ensuring also at the end of the day that you are successful either in the larger projects or even in the small projects. And of course, supporting, having a very powerful team here that supports you technically, and ensuring that our users are speaking the same language, people who are solving the same problems, same challenges. If you go to petroleum, from the field to office to even shipping, and making sure that all this information are well connected. The forestry community, the conservation teams, all these, making sure that all these users, we are having a common approach, synergize to solve some of the world problems. And of course, at the end of the day, we want to advance spatial literacy. And this spatial literacy is more of, having the geography that solves the world's problem. And of course, we are talking more about the data science. We heard from Richard from KFS, how do we now improve now and appreciate the use of, spatial science, data science, all the buzzwords that are being used in the current world, IoT, Internet of Things, machine learning, all that. And of course, at the end of the day, we want to even empower the people in the schools, our students in colleges, in the universities, to make sure that they have these much needed skills, so that when they come into the industry, they can actually be able to cope and solve the challenges that are there using the best technology that is available. Now, all our users are talking about how they're using geography to solve the current constant changing challenges. And we all agree that in the spaces that we are operating, that we are living in a complex and interconnected world. So there is no way that you can say that you can detach the human and nature. So geography plays a very key role on where the human live, the kind of infrastructures that they're managing, to better their lives, when you talk about the food security. And of course, there is the changing natural ways of how the ecosystem is behaving. Now, with all these challenges, happening across all the sectors, so we understand that we need something that can help us actually to solve this problem. And geography and spatial analysis is we have all seen from all the presentations that have been done today in the various segments that you are, or sessions that you are in. And of course, I know most of you have been even to all of them, is that geography and spatial analysis is becoming the language of problem solving. At the end of the day, whether you are in petroleum, in agriculture, in energy, and because at the end of the day, we are all interconnected. The tools that we use, the environment that we are working on, the stakeholders we are engaging with, it becomes very inevitable that we have to work and use spatial analysis in solving most of these problems. And just to mention that the geospatial infrastructure, which we are calling now the modern GIS implementation, is helping all of us at that small level, be it at a team's level, individual, department, organization, and communities. And we are looking at, how all these things are interconnected, whether the projects that you are addressing or the challenges that you are addressing are either at an individual level or a team's level. So we are looking at the geospatial infrastructure, trying to support everyone and ensuring that organization, be it small or large, whether operating in a county, operating in a national government, or operating in a East African community, or even in Africa at large, how are we supporting and engaging each other? So these are the common languages now that we are using, and we are seeing that happening at scale. From the individual work that is happening up to having all these distributed geospatial services, whether it is on-prem or on the cloud, and you, our users, are helping us to draw and shape this journey. And and our technology is advancing because the more challenges we meet each and every day, the more feedback that we get from you, the users, and that helps us to ensure that we are advancing in the terms of tools, the technology, the systems, enabling the very much needed digital transformation. Now it's almost 2 years into the pandemic, and now virtual meeting, conferencing is now the order of the day. I would have loved to meet all of you and greet and hug each other, but because of some of the changes that are happening in the world, we are now forced now to adapt this new norm. And we are moving steadily with the feedback that we're getting from the users, creating the very much needed rich tools and applications, which are accessible anywhere, anytime, on any device. And this model is what now we are calling the digital twin. Having now the abstract geography, things that, and translating that into the natural geography, how the things are interacting on the real world, and having a copy of that in a digital way, such that you can actually be able to interact, make transactions, manage things remotely. And these tools we are creating each and every day is to help you, the users, to make your life easy, make the world a better place. And we are committed to that cause. And we are seeing all the users using various data types. And just to emphasize that our technology is able to, create that common language that is very much needed. I've seen people ask questions about, if you want to increase the accuracy of, field data surveillance, apart from the satellites, you want to use drones. You want to also ensure that you have the ground information through ground truthing using GPSs and other devices on the ground. You have unstructured reports, coming in, all these in forms of maps and scenes and theirs, ensuring that we have that very much needed architecture to bring all this information, be it in real time, getting information from radar, vector information, imagery, building information model. How are we, ensuring that we have enough carrying capacity in most of our parks and all that. So this is the language that we are speaking, a common language. And just to summarize what we would want our users to be able to take advantage of using the technology that's available is to have a proper system of record. That's where everything starts, the foundation or the base. And this comes to all the information that an organization has. So when you have that base where you have all this information, ensuring that you have a very proper data model that ensures that you are able to even share this and engage with the organization at large, which now comes to the next stage, which is called the system of engagement. How are you able to share information both internally as an organization and externally to the public? And how do the public now collaborate and give feedback to the information that you're passing? We've had a very powerful, presentation both in mining, how, for example, the permitting is done, application of the licenses online is done, how that information is processed, and how the feedback is given back. Same for forestry, almost near real-time dissemination of information, and how you track that back and give the information back to the society and the end users, the patrols in the field, and averting some of those dangers that we see happening. And ultimately, when you have that proper system of engagement, it gives the management a room or a foundation where now the governance issues are done. And this is both in coming up with analytics and models that are used for data exploration. So this is just a summary of how you leverage the power of location intelligence. And one of the last things that I wanted to mention, because we have also new users who joined us in the meeting, is to just have that initial operating capability. And this I sometimes emphasize that you want to impart the best practices through initial operating capabilities. You want to ask yourself the best questions. Okay, so do you have the foundational apps that you need? What information products do you need to get out of this? The best practice workflow, the data models, GIS ready data, or is this available? Then before you go to now the integrated enterprise system, where now you want to build your own customized application. Of course, there are users here who have gone up to that high level. But it's also important to mention that from our desktop users, coming up with those foundational apps, the Survey 123, Corrector for ArcGIS, which we have adversely been mentioned in most of the presentations. What are these workflows that we need to come up with to ensure that data is corrected from fields to office, and how this information is synthesized and collected? We cannot overemphasize the need, to have, the vision of having a proper geospatial strategy within the organization. And this ultimately goes down into, do you have the right data? Do you have the right people, the right processes, and the right tools to use to ensure that you are getting the best out of it? And of course, the implementation patterns vary from, having the IOC, and the next phase is to define what information products do you want to get out of it, define the workflows, and of course now extend with custom applications. The reason why we are mentioning this is to make sure that everyone is aware that in whatever stage that you are in, we will come and support you to make sure that you operationalize, you scale within a very minimum time, and of course making sure that the investment is worth and you can see value and get out of it the best that you can with our technology. Last but not least, I would want to say that Esri is committed to making sure that you, the users, are very, very successful. There are quite a number of things which are coming up, which I want to mention as we close down the conference. One is the upcoming, the International Esri User Conference, second time in a row, coming as a virtual conference, which will be held between 12th to 15th of July. I want to welcome each and every one of you to register for this event. Just go to UC 2021, Esri UC 2021. There is the registration link that you'll find there. The signing up is very easy. Interact, engage with our users across the world to see some of the work that they are doing. Celebrate with them the wins, the successes that they have had. Learn, interact, and and socialize virtually during these 4 days conference that is coming up next month. So I would like to invite each and every one of you to sign up for the user conference. Then I would also want to mention that we have natural resources webinar, which are running, others have already been done, and we have the recordings of those in our website. So please visit our website, look at the webinars, what has been happening. In terms of building the capacity, in terms of training, e-learning is always there for our users. Please visit our e-learning portal, learngis.com. See some of the work that has been done there. See some of the best products which are used across the industry and the various segments at large. And last but not least is to mention about the good work that we are doing with the Africa Geoportal. So just to mention briefly, the Africa Geoportal is a connection of all the inter-country events, or is almost like a hub of what our users are doing. Please visit our Africa Geoportal, get data, interact with users, see some of the good work that they are doing. Their story maps, data is shared there from all. It's a multidisciplinary kind of collection of some of the data that you might need in your day-to-day work. I would like to say, if you have any questions, any feedback, concerns that you would want to share with us, please write an email to customercare@esri.com or sales@esri.com, and we shall be able to get back to you with all your comments, questions, concerns, and even compliments. We want to help you move to the next steps, and we'll be glad to hear from you. I want to thank you all for being our users, and we are grateful for everything that you accomplish. Thank you, and for joining us. We hope that the recording of this meeting will be shared. I hope my colleagues will be able to give all those final details. I want to thank you all, and have a very good afternoon. Thank you. Gerard, we can't hear you.
Thank you, Samuel. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. That marks the end of our conference, but the